leaders, the old lady of Italian football.
Interesting. And before we go, a reminder for headlines once again. Authorities in the West Coast region have expressed satisfaction with the light turnout during Saturday's monthly cleaning exercise. The National Commission on UNESCO and its affiliate partners are aiming to fight illiteracy and marginalization within the Islamic Ummah. Talks between Iran and 6 world powers on its controversial nuclear program have ended without any agreement. Both sides are blaming the other for lack of substance. And carnage in Baghdad, dozens of people are killed in a suicide car bomb attack in the Iraqi capital, the latest in a series of bombings across the country. That brings us to the end of this edition of the news. Thanks for the pleasure of your company. Stay tuned and enjoy GRTS.
Doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what you've been through. You can make it if you believe. You've got the potentials living in you. You've got the power to succeed. You've got the power to achieve. You've got the power if you believe. Success power.
Welcome to Success Power. We're discussing a very interesting topic, connecting with people. I remember several years ago, my wife Nikki and I attended a birthday reception. It was for one of my mentors. I mean, at the reception were dignitaries, political leaders, business leaders, religious leaders, and so on. And, you know, my mentor made a statement that day that Nikki and I have referred to again and again over the years. My mentor turned 50 on that day. He said, my greatest assets in life have been people. And my greatest problems have also come from people. That struck me. We human beings are created for connection, not for isolation. That's just the way we are. We're designed to connect with other people. We're designed for relationships. In the biblical account of creation, it is said that God said, it is not good for man to be alone. Well, that's literally true, that we are created to relate with others. We're born into families, at least in the ideal instance, and within the family, we begin to develop our social skills. We have to relate with our parents, we have to relate with siblings. All the dynamics that play out, you know, in our relationships with human beings, you will usually find in a family. Somebody said that God gave you a family to prepare you for an enemy. Now that means that most of the attitudes that you will experience in your relationships with people in the larger community, you're likely to experience at home first from members of your family. And it's in the family that you learn how to respond, how to deal with people, how to deal with differences, you know, because people are different, okay? How to deal with gender differences, deal with personality differences, and so on. So I found my mentor's comment very instructive. My greatest assets have been people. His greatest joys came from people. That's the truth, really, isn't it? Our greatest joys come from people. But then, most times, our greatest pains, our greatest sorrows, our greatest hurts come from people. Now, it's so easy for us when things go wrong in relationships to put the blame on others. Now, that's easy. That's usually what happens. The other person is almost always the one that is wrong. But then as long as we blame others, we just never make progress in our relationships. So relationships fail. Some relationships break down completely. We lose friends. We lose family members. In fact, sometimes homes are broken. And if building relationships is that critical to our joy, to our fulfillment, to our success, then we need to acquire relationship skills. All of us need to acquire, we need to develop relationship skills. We need to know how to relate with other people, how to make them comfortable in our presence, how to not be a source of pain to somebody else, but to be a source of blessing and to be a source of happiness. So, that's why we are discussing this topic today, connecting with people. I believe it. Once you and I begin to improve on our ability to relate with other people, we will see an increase in our level of peace, in our level of joy, in our level of favor. We'll see increase and progress even in our careers. Think about it. When leadership experts do their research, they realize that you don't rise beyond your level of people skills. Whatever your career or training may be, whatever your expertise may be, you will have to relate with people to make progress in that career. When you're so good, they will employ other people. If everything grows, if the work grows, they'll have to employ other people. They will move you up, they'll promote you, you'll be in charge of 10 people or 5 people or 20 or 50 or 200 or 500 people. You'll have to manage them. Now managing them, leading them will take most of your time. You won't need to do the basic work yourself again. If you do, not much of it. So you will find out that the higher you rise on the corporate ladder, the more you must have the ability to relate with people and to get them to do the job on your behalf. If not, you'll be failing. It's absolutely important. The quality of our relationship building or relationship skills will impact on every area of our lives. Of what use is it getting married if we don't know how to relate with someone? If we have not become mature or sophisticated in our relationship skills? We'll just go into marriage to create misery for somebody else. This is very important. Some managers, some supervisors are sources of pain and terror to their subordinates in the office. And it's just because they may be very good as doctors or lawyers or engineers or accountants or whatever, but in terms of relating with human beings, they're not good. They may be good with designing systems. They may be very, very brilliant. You know, they may have their MBAs, but at the end of the day, systems don't run themselves. Human beings run systems. And human beings have feelings. So this is very important, and you and I should develop the ability to relate well